They might not be willing to really listen to the questions. What's an example? So do they just talk about something else?
That could be one. They might deflect to something else, or it'll be like I'll ask them a question and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know, I've never thought about that." And then I'm like, "Yeah, so think
That's
about
good.
it for a moment. Just consider what that is." And they're just like, "Yeah, if I had more time, I could think about that, but I'm not going to think about that." Like they're refusing to do it is the thing.
That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, or like with the feeling too, they'll refuse to feel it. So I'm like, what's the feeling behind when you think about that, what is the feeling behind it?
So we can start to make them aware of it. We can gently start to guide their awareness that there is something happening organically. Like, I didn't do that to you. And yet here we are. This is happening. And it must mean something because the unconscious mind wouldn't do stuff for no reason. And so it's just more like getting them to, oh, there is something going on. I want them to become aware of it. But I think sometimes when you're doing this work, you're not really sure if you're seeing what you're seeing, and you are seeing it, right? Like, the
Sure.
unconscious mind always communicates. It's
Sure.
constant communicating. We're just not aware of it. And as we get more aware of it, the stuff gets a lot easier. So that's the first thing. The second thing, though, specifically about refusal and like, how do I utilize refusal? So you could just say, I noticed a little bit of hesitancy when you were going to go feel that. What's that about? You could do it that way. So that's another way to get there. What's the biggest concern you have for not wanting to? Think about that right now. People might say, if they said something about time, like, you don't have the time. I don't understand what you mean. That's what we're here to do.
Right.
This is an important thing for you to think about, right? That kind of a thing. So now the refusal becomes the gateway.
No, that's a good point. Utilizing refusal. I wasn't necessarily aware of not doing that. Like
Yeah.
I was getting blocked by the refusal instead of using
Right.
it as the gateway. I get what you're saying.
I should stop. I love saying utilization because the industry term, I really like explore because I feel like utilizing feels like we're going to have to do something to it.
Sure. Sure.
But oh, that's so interesting. You just, a moment ago, you were about to experience that feeling, and then I noticed it seemed like you shied away from it.
Right.
What do you think that's about? Because it's like, it sounds like we might be getting away from something, but actually, until we get away from it and we explore around it, now they can go into it, or the thing just goes away.
Mm.
It's like we talked about that video I just posted about eroding the emotional intensity of the problem. We talked about with smoking cessation, right?
Okay.
How we erode the intensity. A lot of times going around it will erode it, or it makes it less threatening. Their mind isn't so shying away from it, right? That's not the instinct. Now it's okay, maybe it's safe. Maybe I can look at this. It's safe to explore and discover, right? All these weird, all these weird exploration themes. I wind up speaking in these metaphors a lot, but I think they're useful.
Yeah, definitely.